Yo, what's poppin', YouTube? It's your boy, the Granulated Oxen, aka ya boy JK, and I'm back at it again with another video. Now you may be sitting there, thinking to yourself, man, this boy has been an absentee on the YouTube platform for about a month now. I couldn't possibly imagine what he's up to. Is he working on a big project? Is he just working his summer away? What's he doing? I'll tell you, dear followers, I'll tell you right now what I've been doing. I've been really stressed out about going to a foreign country. I mean, I am so overwhelmingly humbled that I'm able to go to a country. But holy heck, I'm going to another country! I am stressed out beyond belief. And so you, the viewer, may be sitting there thinking to yourself, man, if I was in his position, what would I do to relieve all that stress? And I'm here to answer you that question, because I'm trying my very hardest to relieve that stress, because the biggest thing that's giving me stress is the language. Japanese is one of the hardest languages for we Americans to learn. Now, why is it that? Why is that? It's because it's completely different from English. Let me throw you some examples up right here. Does this compute? Does this compute? Do any of these compute? Does this compute? You probably answered no to all of the above. And rightfully so. Japanese is a hard language. So what are some of the tips and tricks and resources that I've personally used to get better at learning my language? And that's what I'm going to show you. Single-handedly, my biggest resource, I feel, is this here notebook. Now what could you do with the notebook? Of course, you're going to take notes with it. And I have filled this notebook a lot of pages. It's not full entirely, but it has verbs, it has words, it's got a page dedicated to fruits. Like, you just, if you were in my position, I feel like you should grab a notebook and write down all the words that you are learning, all the words you want to learn, and kind of keep track. Keep it organized, keep it creative, draw a lot of pictures in it, make it your own. And boy, this has helped me so much. But where do I get these words from? They don't just magically appear. They don't magically pop into my head. But you can magically Google them, because Google's a tool that everybody should use every once in a while. Not Google Translate. Now that's trash. Don't use Google Translate. That's trash. But some websites that I highly suggest. Tofugoo. This is a Japanese kind of blog site for us Americans, and it's basically just an insight into Japanese lifestyle and living. It kind of teaches you some stuff about their culture, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate, why you shouldn't scream in public, when it's appropriate to bow, and why it's not appropriate to cha-ching your coins into a shrine. And I really enjoy this website. It's fun read, really good to just go in there. Just enjoy your time. Another website. If you didn't know this about Japanese, they don't have one alphabet. Oh, no. They don't have two alphabets either. Oh, no. They have three alphabets unless you want to consider their fourth alphabet. They have Kanji, Romanji, Katakana, Hiragana, and yeah, that's a lot of alphabets. If you want to learn those alphabets better, there's no better website than realkana.com. On realkana.com, you can test your alphabet skills. Moving on. The very next website that I find extremely helpful is Japanese Pod 101. On Japanese Pod 101, they give you videos, tools, resources, monthly resources that they send directly to your email, in which you can open it up and get free ebooks, free pamphlets, free pictures, and all of that stuff is based around teaching you how to speak fluent Japanese. Very, very helpful. Check them out. They have a YouTube channel. Drop the link into the description below. And just pay them a visit if you want to learn a little bit more about speaking Japanese. Woohoo! Now let's move on to the mobile apps. Everybody's got a phone in their pocket. Every single person, unless you don't. And the people that have phones in their pockets, they probably have apps. Everybody likes apps. Cool apps. You got good apps, you got best apps, you have all apps. You can go on social media, hook up with old friends, hook up with old people. There's a plethora of apps. My apps typically revolve around my other apps typically revolve around learning Japanese. So if you want to also learn a little bit more about these alphabets on a more game-based setting, might I suggest Japanese Dungeon. If you want to read, if reading is your thing, Japanese Reader. And if you just really want to see your family again, might I suggest Duolingo. I don't suggest Duolingo. It's trash. There's better options out there. Like my favorite, Lingodeer. But if you're the old soul, that old crinkly person that's like, yes, I'm still in the race. I can still learn another language. Might I suggest one of the oldest methods in the book? Heckin' flashcards. Everybody likes flashcards. You can get a lot of them for cheap. You write them down on both sides. These boys are too big. Cut them in half. You just doubled everything. That's the cheapo way out. But it works. And I highly suggest that you use these. Although I don't use these very often, the ones that I do have, I've gotten more than enough use out of them. Any flashcard out of this bunch that I could draw at random, I guarantee you I know what it is in Japanese converted to English. Let me show you. Alrighty, so another good resource for you. And I highly suggest, what is it? It's something fluent. HiNative. It's HiNative. Another good resource is called HiNative. HiNative is actually a website in which you can communicate with other people across the globe, and it's also built around the sole purpose of uniting people in their language learning efforts. It's built around language. It's not like you just have a pen pal and you're like, yo, sup bro? Instead you have a pen pal and you say, yo, how do you say what's up bro in Portuguese? And they will help you out with it. You scratch their back, they scratch yours, homo sapien. Alright, so you can also go the college route. The college route being spending a lot of money on books. This is a book. This is also a book. This is also a book, and this is also a book. All of these are good books. And they help you with language. They're kind of a little bit harder to follow along, especially if you buy one that's written in Japanese and has no English transcripts to it, but it's still helpful. Helps with your reading. You can always buy books, you can rent books, you can find PDFs online for a lot cheaper than you can actually buy the books for, or you can go on to usedtextbooks.com Incorporated and find used textbooks on usedtextbooks.com.incorporated. I don't even know, man. But those are helpful. Should also get a whiteboard. Whiteboards are pretty cool. Definitely suggest getting a whiteboard. Also, a fluent speaking friend would help. I don't have that. I just don't have friends at all. Woo! Alrighty, so if you enjoyed that video, make sure to subscribe it down below and hit that like button.